What's up, everybody? Yes, indeed, OG is back, man. You guys already know what time it is with this cat right here. I don't talk about it, I stay about it. Well, anyways, people, just a reminder, I am a full-time online fitness coach. So if you want to get started in your fitness journey, you need to shoot me a DM. Go to my Instagram, High Power Fitness, and check out my resume there. I have over 2 years of material. I have transformations. I have testimonials. I even have meals set up there. You know what I mean? Showing authentication that I am that person, a full-time online fitness coach. I will build you a workout plan that will be bulletproof. I will dial in your nutrition that will get you them results. Guaranteed. 90-day program. You will see results. Money back guaranteed, baby. But anyways, people, first and foremost, I got to give a shout out to all my followers, my subscribers, and especially my channel members. And today, I am going to touch a little bit more on Renegade Media. My goodness. My bad. He did speak on the SNY yard. I just happened to come across one of his videos. He's an interesting character, people. But anyways, people, remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all. Let's get this channel to 10,000 subscribers. That way I can start doing lives. And for that individual, I forget your name. I should put you on blast, but I'm not. Why? Because I'm better than that. I believe people want to do some lives and bring this yarda to life. You know, so you don't have to pull up. You know what I mean? Keep it stepping. Stay right there where you at in that SNY yard. You know, hey, I'm not even going to get into that topic, man. That's crazy. But anyways, people, yeah, if you want to get started in your fitness journey, man, shoot me that DM or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. But at the end of the day, if you don't like what you see, go somewhere else. You know, I could take a horse to water, but I can't force it to drink. You feel me? But yes, I do ramble on. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all and share this channel, man. Let's get it to grow. 10,000 subscribers. I will start doing lives. I will interact with every last person. I'm not going to do paperwork check on none of you guys. You know what I mean? Just come with respect and you get respect. You know what I mean? Because on my yarda, I'm telling you now, my moderators ain't going to be doing calientadas. They're just going to remove you. Strictly removals, baby. Okay. Well, anyways, enough rambling for that. Mr. Renegade Media, he put out a video today. Man, he has so many conflicting narratives to his video. It's crazy. The boy talks about how he's how he had hepatitis C. Had is past tense. And then he talks a little bit later, like a few seconds later, maybe 30 seconds later, saying that he's still suffering with it. It's either you got it or you don't, my boy. In today's video, he spoke a lot about SNY, man. He actually laced me up because I didn't have the slightest clue. Them fools are over there gangbanging. That's what it sounds like to me. I had to listen to that video more than once to comprehend what he was doing, because at the beginning of his video, it almost makes it seem like he's going to hang up his boots and retire and move away from the YouTube world. You know, because he said he's put together, he's going to invest all of his money into this documentary and let God take wherever God takes him to, or whatever God has planned for him, he's going to move on, you know, when he's ready. You know what I mean? But he's putting it out there that he's about ready to make a move. That's the way I took it, you know what I mean? And then in his video too, my God, it looks like he's looking for justification, and that he's feeling sorry for himself. He's looking for reasons and explanations why he did what he did to go to that other yard. The way he portrays himself on this, it raises flags to me that this person ever had a leadership authority. You know what I mean? Because I've done time with norteños, and they didn't like I said, they didn't behave like that. You know, they were very militant. They had a lot of pride. You know what I mean? This individual right here is making every excuse why he did what he did. You know what I mean? There's no reason, my boy. You just could not hang with it. You know what I mean? You signed up for something that you thought you could hang with and you couldn't. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, man, we all know what we sign up for. You know what I mean? We know it's not going to be a rainbow at the end of this journey, especially if you're staying active. As far as myself, I'm not active. I'm out here being a full-time online fitness coach, a full-time husband, father, being there for my family, because, you know, I was never there for them in the past like I wanted to be, you know what I mean? Because I landed behind them walls. But anyways, yeah, this guy, he went on there and, man, he started dropping all kinds of names and pulling people's covers, saying that he don't want to, but he's going to. Yeah, you know what it is? What I see this guy, he's looking for validation of what he did. You know what I mean? And now he's looking for acceptance from an individual that passed away. I don't know who this individual is. Yes, he was an SNY guy, you know. Rest in peace to whoever you were, you know what I mean? That's just out of common respect coming from me, you know what I mean? The only time I wouldn't say something like that is if you had that really bad paperwork, the funny charges on you, you know. I understand more than likely you probably fucking rode on people to end up on that side of the yard, you know what I mean? But like I said, I'm not doing research on that. I'm just going by what this guy's video was. So Mr. fucking Renegade Media, man, I seen a guy crying out for support from individuals that he lost support from. So this individual, from what I take of it, this fucking fool dropped out from a dropout gang. How does that work? I don't understand. I'm confused, you know what I mean? Look, I'm not fucking criticizing this cat. I just don't understand this new get down. Like this one individual that reached out to me, Mr. God Almighty, I think his title was. This guy, that's not accurate, his thing, but it mentions something with God, you know what I mean? I mean, it's somebody that's putting their title using God, man, really, and you're out there criticizing other people, you know what I mean? That's not the way godly people work, at least not from what I've seen, you know what I mean? But you know, honestly, all bullshit aside, that may be one of the reasons why I don't go to church, because I see so much hypocritical shit go on there, you know what I mean? You could walk into a church, man, and when you walk in, everybody in them benches turn around and look at you and reckless eyeball you, check you out from head to toe. Why would they be doing that? They should be giving their full attention to that man that's sitting up there behind that podium right there, giving his sermon. You know, that's the way I look. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't go to church, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm a believer in God. You know, to me, church is in my heart. You know, he watches over me every day. Yes, I rambled on. Well, anyways, let's get back to fucking Renegade Media, man. He was fucking just like speaking on a lot of stuff that goes on, and he pretty much educated me on how that place is ran over there. I've never heard of so many cliques. To me, it almost sounds like a gangland. You know what I mean? You're in a neighborhood and you're gang banging. And what I don't understand is these individuals that left the main line to go over there to do that. What made them do that? What made them make that move? What you're doing over there is setting yourself up for more failure than running a main line. On a main line, you know what I mean? You're just taking care of business. You know, over there, you guys are gang banging underneath cameras and all that. You're gonna get caught and do more time. You know what I mean? I mean, doing shit back when I was younger, going through the system, you could get away with a lot of stuff because there wasn't no cameras. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, everybody got cameras. Everybody got phones. You know what I mean? And Jesus Christ, it's crazy. But anyways, I hadn't the slightest idea what went on over there in the SMY yards. You know, my upbringing, no matter how you look at it, when you went to that other side, you're considered no good, regardless of the matter of what you went over there. You know what I mean? And now to know that there's active people on those integrated yards, it just makes no sense to me, because you're not active. Because if you were active, you would be taking care of business. You know what I mean? So low key, you want to go home. You know, a lot of people, they come in like they play that Mashika role until they get the cuffs put on them, man. And that's when people realize And then the first thing, I'm gonna keep it real and 100% with you, man. God, help me get out of this one. I promise I won't do wrong no more. I've seen that so many times. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna keep it real and 100% with you. I actually used that one time when I was all fucked up on dope. And it wasn't because I was trying to do better. It was because I needed to get back out there to get high again. You know, I was a straight dope fiend. As far as like the cases that I have caught in the past, I never did that. Because I knew exactly what I was doing when I caught my cases. You know, I was level-headed. But this last bullshit is like crazy. But anyways, like, fuck, man. You know what I mean? But anyways, people, I'm just keeping it real and 100. Like I said, this cat right here, I don't sugarcoat nothing for anything. I'm not trying to be anything that I'm not either. So Mr. Renegade Media, I really doubt that he was a man of leadership. Just the way he conducts himself, the way he's spilling his feelings on social media on this last drop that he did, he sounds pathetic. I'm gonna keep it real. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking the man, but he sounds fucking pathetic. It's either you're a mashika or not. If you were all about that business, why do you need to validate it with social media on here, telling people what you've done and this and that? You didn't have to. You didn't question nothing. They handed you a piece of candy and you went to work. You got a wheeler shot down from Tehachapi down to North Kern State Prison. And you put in work, you know what I mean, without a question, you know what I mean. That's a warrior attitude. But where was that warrior attitude when you were running mainline? You know what I mean. It makes no sense to me. You know what I mean. This individual has conflicting theories on what he puts out there. You know what I mean. Yeah, he seems pretty. I'm telling you now, man. He's a very good storyteller, though. Very good. You know what I mean. He's very unfiltered. He don't care what he says. You know what I mean. He contradicts himself a lot. And like I said, I never really paid much attention to this individual, but he spoke on something about, like I said on yesterday's video that I dropped about, you know, the LA County, the biggest riot, get whoop de whoop de whoop, and this is the way it went down, this and that. How would you know? You didn't go through the LA County. I lived that life, and for that one individual speaking, check this out, Pooh Butt, because of homies like me. We paved the road for you cats today to go through that county jail nice and smooth. You don't know what it was to go through war, be in a module with 200-300 guys and nowhere to run. When it jumps off, that's some shit right there, especially when you're getting processed in that long module, that you guys seen, that holding tank that everybody knows if you guys ever watched that movie Colors. That was real shit right there. We used to get off right there. And it was with the brothers. You know what I mean? And that's why I've said in the past, at times doing time when I was going through the system right there, you could come in feeling a certain way and leave that place with hatred towards certain people because of the life that you were, the lifestyle that you dropped into. You know what I mean? You just weren't prepared. So, you know, they just created a monster. But anyways, people, back to the Renegade Media. Yes, I rambled on, and that's what this OG does. This guy sounds like he's feeling sorry for himself, man. It looks like he's on his way out to check out again. Fuck, I don't know how many times this fool could check out, but he's just checking out left and right. I guess he's going to be checking out of the YouTube yada, you know what I mean? I really doubt it, you know what I mean? Because he's a content creator, and he's got a very strong audience that supports him, you know? So, I don't agree with his get downs, you know, but at the end of the day, he's doing his thing. He's hustling and grinding, you know what I mean? He has his audience fucking fooled, just like Mr. fucking Meanie Weenie Wes Watson, the Master Hooper, does. You know what I mean? He has that audience captivated. So I guess that's what counts at the end of the day, you know what I mean? And as far as that fucking Pooh Butt, the one that's trying to say that My Fitness channel is failing, no. My Fitness avenue is through my Instagram, dumbass. That's where I conduct all of my business. That's where I've started. I got over 2 years of material, and like I've said, I've been doing this for a minute, and I am a full-time online fitness coach. So if you want to get started in your fitness journey and becoming that 10.5, you guys already know what time it is, man. Shoot me that DM at my high power fitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. You know what? I think that's enough talking about Mr. Motherfucking Renegade Media. I'm going to look into some of his other videos because people left comments for me to check out some other videos. If you guys remember those links, the ones that he spoke upon certain individuals, shoot them to me. You know what I mean? Or any videos that you want me to elaborate on. You know what I mean? I'll review it and give my view on it. You know what I mean? What's that fucking one guy? He said, man, you sound like you're from The View. You know what I mean? Shut the fuck up, man. You're 62? What the fuck are you doing on here? Because you're bedridden? You wrecked on your moped? Quit it. All right? I'm not on here seeking validation from anybody. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just being me. This is entertainment. A lot of my supporters, they tell me don't acknowledge those people. Gee, don't let them get to you. I don't. You know what I mean? I find it humorous. It's entertainment to me. You know what I mean? So I'll like I said, once my YouTube Yarda goes active and I start doing lives, I'll interact with every last one of them. You know what I mean? That's just what I'm gonna do. That's what I do. You know what I mean? You can't threaten me with a good time. You know what I'm saying? Been there, done that, and I'm not gonna put it on here where I've been and what I've done either. You know what I mean? Don't need to. For what? I don't need to seek validation from anybody. The only people I need prove anything to is my family, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, this is the real world, the real life. This is the real struggle out here in the real world, supporting, standing up, showing up every day for your family, putting food on that table, keeping a roof over their head, staying sober is my biggest task. But I've been sober now going on about like 13 years, so I'm good. Well, anyways, people, with that being said, before I do leave, I said I would speak just a little bit about muscle memory. For those of you that have that misconception about muscle memory, the ones that sign on with me say, yeah, gee, you know, I still got muscle memory, get whoop-de-whoop, yeah, I'll be able to get size back, this, and that. No. See, you don't understand that. Let me break it down to you what muscle memory means, okay? Muscle memory, I'm going to give you a perfect, simple example where anybody could understand. When we were kids, we all rode bicycles. We're very good at riding bicycles, and then as we got older, we tapered off and we, you know, got into motor vehicles. So we stopped riding bikes, you know what I mean? 20 years goes by, we jump on our kid's bike. That's muscle memory. Your body remembers the motions and the movements that it's done to perform that, to ride that bicycle. That's muscle memory, people. As far as getting built again, yeah, your muscle tissues have been broken in, this and that. You're familiar with the movement, so it comes easier. That's what it is. That's muscle memory. It's not like it's fucking muscle that's dormant right there, ready to be activated again. No, that's not the way it works. You're still gonna have to follow a workout plan and dial in your nutrition. Your muscles need to be fed correctly. So, anyways, people, with that being said, if you want to get started on your fitness journey, shoot me a DM or at highpowerfitness, high_power_fitness_, or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. There ain't nothing to it but to do it, baby. Don't talk about it, be about it. And once again, thumbs up, thumbs down, put that notification bell and all. Let's get it to 10,000 subscribers, and make sure you share this channel. That way we could bring that YouTube Yarda to life. Now, with that being said, get up and get yours. Let's do this.